I mean, it'll be interesting to see if there's much.
Right, guys, we're live and we're about to unbox Harry Potter the Miniatures adventure game, which belongs to Jags, a member of our community down here at Weekend Warlords. Say hi, Jags.
Hi all.
They're amazingly well boxed, aren't they? I mean, they're fantastic packaging and stuff that they've come up with. These tins,
They've gone
really
they've gone full ball with it.
Yeah.
You know, they've kind of. They haven't just kind of put it together in a box, slapped it out, sent it out to you.
Yeah.
You know, they've really designed it to make it look like it could be from
Harry Potter. Yeah.
You know, the actual scroll working, the text is all there. I mean, it's all based off the films.
Yeah.
So it's all very recognisable if you know the films particularly well. I mean, when we get to the models,
yeah,
you will see that they are
amazing.
almost photorealistic in the way that they've done them, which is quite astounding.
Yeah. So we're quite fortunate at Weekend Warlords. Jags brought all this down to open live on our stream. We're going to let him open it because it's all his stuff. We're very generous like that.
That's why I even left it in its
cellophane. Yeah, I know.
I've had it for almost a week.
The temptation must have been enormous.
Yeah, it's been quite a chore not to tell you the truth, but oh well. Right, so desperately trying hard not to scratch up my box because that would be a nightmare.
Right in that camera a little bit.
They've double wrapped it.
They've double wrapped it.
Double wrapped it. How safe do you want it to be? Awesome. Safest miniature game in the world. Right. Okie dokie.
So again, packaging is
it's beautiful.
Pretty well done. That
we even found it. Ooh,
found it. So it looks like you could even use this inlay here to keep all the pieces in.
You could use that quite happily. I mean, obviously, when you probably stuck them together, painted them.
Yeah, you'd want some foam.
You'd probably want them in a carry case.
I imagine somebody would probably do foam for this directly.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're just using this as a kind of almost like a non-hobbyist board game.
Yeah.
Because you're mad into Harry Potter, but you might not play the rest of the games.
Yeah.
Which are in the hobby. You could probably get away with just using that to keep your core set quite happily.
It'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Quite happily in there, which is.
Let's just move this Harry Potter box then, and we'll start putting some under the close-up camera.
Yes.
Who have we got first?
Well, we've got the composite part of every single game. You're going to have a set of dice.
Yep.
But they've done special dice, obviously.
It's Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter. So what they've done is they've done a dice set with the Harry Potter, the Deathly Hallows symbol as your one.
Yeah.
And there's, if we can see it, there we go. There's the black one.
Always confused me a little bit that they put these on the one. Is it on the one?
Oh no, it's a 6.
No, it's on the 6. Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
You want to see it. You want
it to come up.
You want to see the 6. If you got it on the 1, you're like, my special dice are not all that special. Let's get disappointed.
Yeah.
Obviously, because we haven't been through the rule set yet, we don't really know what these cards represent, but we do have something of a similar size to the X-Wing, old 1.0 X-Wing upgrade cards.
That's quite interesting.
Quite cute.
We've got quite a lot of the old.
The old
style.
The old style. Actually, very probably because the new character cards seem to be the same size as regular.
So this will actually work like the old pilot sleeves for X-Wing.
I think it might well do.
With them upgrading and
possibly, but again, without seeing the rules, who knows? And these got a larger set of cards.
Yeah.
And this one seems to be. It looks like a scenario. If the heroes win this scenario, each player chooses so and so forth. So
we've got hey guys from Bo Banyan. So hi there.
Why hello there.
If you got any questions, shout up.
These are 4 character cards which you get in the set that I got.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be on general release. And
So
the man Dobby himself.
Yeah.
So
do we know what any of these stats mean?
well, he's got the triangle itself, the elder sign. Get on Cthulhu there for a minute, if only. So the symbol there's got mastery, defense, and cunning, which I guess is going to be probably the 3 primary stats for the rule system. 10 galleons has got to be a cost, so there's going to be a value.
Yeah.
So there's a point system,
right,
which is always good.
Yeah.
Traits: elf, magic immunity, magic resistance.
He should be reasonably quite hard hitting, shouldn't he, Dobby? I would
Well,
guess.
he's got he's got some poking in the
film,
hasn't
he?
Yeah, he slaps old Lucius across,
quite
the floor quite easily.
Well,
And then he's got magic, temper, courage, and wisdom, all his stats, with magical strike, which probably seems to be his major ability in combat. Type magic, bonus 1, damage 1, range 2. The tile sets seem to be squared.
Right.
So I'm guessing range 2 is going to be 2 squares.
2 squares, yeah.
So, and then you've got a nice little image.
So if you compare that to this other house elf here,
creature, who's the black family elf,
which his abilities don't seem to be much different to Dobby's, but his stats up in this top corner here certainly are.
Yeah, he's a bit lower on courage and wisdom than Dobby.
Yeah.
He's cheaper than Dobby as well.
Yeah.
So that seems to be, if that's the base level for a house elf, we have the man himself, Dumbledore.
Now, what's his wisdom like?
Right, so he's got magic 12, temper 2, courage 5, wisdom 9. So his stat line is considerably. Temper, however, noticeably, is much lower.
Right.
And it's in boldface, so that might be a thing.
Yeah.
18 costs, so it's obviously much more expensive. A whole slew of traits: dueling, Gryffindor, leadership, master wizard, supreme mugwump. Now, who doesn't want to be a supreme mugwump?
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's got a special ability, apparition.
So we've got a question on the stream. I missed the beginning of the stream. Is it similar in any way to X-Wing Minatures game? I'm suspecting not at this point.
If I was going to draw a comparison to anything I've seen before,
it
would probably be the Batman Miniatures game.
The Batman Miniatures
Same
game.
company.
Yeah.
So
but we think
like
it's
models,
on a defined grid, isn't it?
It's on a defined grid.
Which kind of brings it a little bit closer to X-Wing, but it's still quite a way away.
Oh yeah, I mean, the movement is probably going to be very fluid. You'll probably move X amount of squares, and you can probably move in any direction, any diagonal through those squares. So there's no movement templates or movement dials or anything like that.
Yeah.
In terms of rolling dice, it's D6, not specialist dice.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to be seeing more regular kind of stats-wise from the actual system itself.
So there's a stat system here, a point system. There are upgrade cards.
It looks something like it, yeah.
Maybe.
So there might be elements of upgrading your crew in the way that you would upgrade your ships in X-Wing.
Yeah.
But on the table, it'll play very differently. Very differently.
Yeah.
And also because there's tile sets, there's going to be defined maps.
Yeah.
So instead of a 3x3 free for all table, you've got a defined map to move around.
That's quite nice actually, because for streaming, doing streams and that works really well. When
it's localised. You know exactly where everything is, and you know where everything's going to go. So that makes a whole lot of sense.
That's what makes X-Wing so popular, really, in a lot of ways, is the fact that it has been quite easy to stream and do commentary on. Yeah,
I mean, if you're looking at other kind of the other classic and well-known gaming systems which are tournament size, if you're looking at the Games Workshop stuff, because you're on a 6x4 table, and there's stuff going on in different points all over the table, you can't focus on everything. But if you've got a 3x3 or smaller, like for example these mats are probably going to be smaller than a 3x3. Everything's really localised. You can focus on everything that's going on. You can see everything that's going on, and you can get more involved in it in that sense. So I think it's going to be good for that, definitely.
Should we put some of these miniatures
have a look at some minis.
So who's this?
That would be Dumbledore.
That is Dumbledore, yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend that is.
And the minis, I don't know if you can see that very clearly. I think it's come out okay, but you can see there is a lot of detail.
So look, see if I can angle it towards the camera.
Yeah.
So you can get to see his his face.
They've done a superb job.
They are astounding. They really are
recreating the.
I mean, they're in resin.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, resin's been around for ages, but resin of this quality.
When resin's done right, it can be one of the best mediums. The problem
amazing.
is that a lot of companies tend to slip their standard after time, but these are superb.
They are quite special. Filch.
Oh, he's amazing.
And
Look,
he's even got his cat under. Can you see his cat under the arm?
Yeah.
Under his right arm there.
Yeah, turn it a little bit because from that angle it's a bit like a rabbit, but yeah,
like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Well, don't tell that to Filch. He'd probably tell you that quite personally. And now, if we crack open these guys, they're in a little baggie. Try and be nice and gentle with them because they are really quite fragile. These ones, because they look quite small. And there you have the last of the limited edition models, which are not quite right. There we are, Dobby and Creature. And let's face it, the only reason anyone ever got teared up in Harry Potter was when, spoiler alert,
they are very nice.
When Dobby's on the beach.
I think if you haven't seen Harry Potter by now,
a bit late.
It's a bit late. Yeah.
If you're expecting spoiler alerts on this,
you
might not get any. Because even if you haven't seen the films, you should have read the books.
Well, yeah, you say that, but
you should have read the books.
I can't say that I have.
Okay, so what we got left in terms of miniatures? We should have some of the Hogwarts guys. So we've got, that's just a set of legs. Oh, here we go. Pretty Death Eaters.
Oh, let's have a look. So I know that we mainly stream X-Wing guys, but we do other things in this store as well. But there will be lots of X-Wing streaming coming this weekend.
Oh, it's the tournament this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the tournament this weekend.
So,
sadly,
I'm at work, so I can't come down.
Are you at both days?
Yeah, I work Saturday, Sunday this week, which is not cool, but oh well. I'm sure I hear all about it. So we've got some Death Eaters. One's got a loose arm, so he's not quite finished. But yeah, they are lovely. Really pretty.
They are lovely.
Ridiculously so.
I mean, this is the first time we're seeing these.
We've seen pictures.
We've seen pictures, and the pictures were amazing.
Quite the same thing. I mean, this is Hermione, and she's got some genuine movement going on in that model. Is
this part of her model?
That's Flash.
That's Flash. Yeah.
She's got basically a scarf which is wrapping around her.
Yeah.
Down to the bottom there, over her leg. I mean, there's a leg missing from the actual casting, and obviously her right arm's missing. But
there is some flash there, though.
There's a little bit of flash, but that's unavoidable.
Yeah,
I mean, there's always going to be a flash. It's the same like saying there's no mould lines on plastic models.
Yeah.
There's always going to be mould lines. Yeah. There's always going to be a bit of flash on resin.
Yeah.
But the flash there is very easy to get rid of.
That don't require flash, that are important to the detail of the model, haven't got flash.
No, they're really clean. And this resin, I mean, obviously, every different type of resin I've seen.
Yeah.
Like GW resin is different from Forge World resin, which is different from Night Models resin. They're all slightly different in mail. The Night Model stuff is really forgiving.
Yeah.
When you clean it up, when you snip it.
Let's keep it under the camera.
When you snip off of these bits, say here.
Yeah.
It doesn't interfere with the model itself.
Yeah.
So it doesn't tear parts. It doesn't bend stuff. It's really forgiving when you're cleaning it up, which is really nice. Desperately trying to keep a hand in the middle.
So 447 Pop wants to know what the scale of the minis is.
That's a good question. They look 32, I'd say, but we could probably get.
There's a spate of games, isn't there, that are somewhere between 28 and 32.
Yeah, well,
it's brought about by G-Dub's heroic scale,
it's
really,
heroic
isn't it?
and true scale. This is true.
This is true 32.
So this isn't heroic scale, and I think it's 32. We're just going to get a.
Let's just leave something on the.
Yeah. So we're looking at.
Yeah.
Head to eye.
Yeah.
To the foot. Yeah, 32.
32.
So 32.
So miniature. I don't know if people know this, but miniature scale is based on a 6 foot man, eye level to foot level, and the height of that. So this is Dumbledore. We're assuming he's about 6 foot tall. Well, he will be pretty much.
I think he was around about,
an inch or two. So that makes it 32mm scale.
So the kids, in theory, will be correct to the size of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
So the kids will be a smaller model, which is why, for example, Dobby is considerably smaller.
Yeah. So it will be based on a 6-foot man, and everything will be scaled accordingly
from
to
that point. So if 32mm foot to eye is 6 foot, then everything will be scaled off of that.
Yeah.
So the big guys will be big, and the little guys will be a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So.
So how much is the core set? Also, are there any expansions out yet? We are just going through that. So this is the core set in this tin, which we are slowly pulling out for you now. Which, if Jags puts that rule book and the tiles in there.
We've got the lid out of the way. So we've got rule book.
Yep.
Tile set, which is 3 tiles, which are reversible.
Yeah, do they
open out? Oh no, sorry, tell a lie.
So you got 4 double tiles.
3 double tiles.
Yeah. And
are double-sided.
Looking at the setup on this expansion tile set here, it looks that that's probably a full game.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Which is the core set.
So it should be, yeah. And also some tokens.
Yeah.
Just can't go wrong without tokens.
Under the camera so people can see that. Do you know how much this is? I can't remember.
I think RRP is 80. I think 80 or 90.
It's about 80 or 90.
80 or 90 for retail.
But there's a lot in this core set.
You do get a lot in this core set. I mean, obviously I went kind of all in.
Yeah.
Got extras.
Did you do the Kickstarter?
Kind of. I did it after it became a pre-order.
Right.
So technically it was a pre-order.
Yeah.
But they did the same deal off the as the Kickstarter to the pre-order. So I got the same amount of stuff for the same amount of money.
Now it's coming to us in the retail
channel. Now it's the retail channel, so this will be available for I think it's 80 or 90.
Yeah, I think it's dropping very, very soon.
Yeah, I think it really is. And in terms of expansions, I think it's going to be you can buy the extra tiles, I believe, separately, which will give you more variety in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it's about the models themselves.
Yeah, so we've got different levels of models. So we've got some in like these tins here, which is like the Dementor and Lord Voldemort, and then I believe you've got some in there which are more like blister packs.
That's full of blister packs, yeah.
Yeah.
And some of those blister packs are just normal characters, and some of them are like creatures.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming these tins are going to be a little bit pricier.
Yeah, I would imagine. I think that's the limited edition Voldemort with the.
Oh, is it?
With the Nagini and the swirls around him.
So whether that's actually available to us or not, I don't know. The blister pack certainly
will be, yeah. Although I'm not sure about the unicorn.
There were some unique models, weren't there?
About the unicorn.
Quite often, a lot of these things do hit the retail channels.
Yeah, they come out, or they come out in a slightly different format.
Yeah.
So I think this one's rearing.
Yeah.
So it's up and standing on 9 legs.
So
there might be a different one coming out for retail, which will be maybe all 4 feet down or something like that. But it will be available for the general populace, just perhaps not in that format.
So what else we got here then, Jackson?
Let's go some more. If we're looking at models, the ones which people are most interested in are probably going to be Harry and...
There's quite a few Death Eaters in this set.
Yeah, there is actually.
They require some assembly.
Yeah, it
was about like 3 or 4 pieces per model.
2,
3.
I mean, some of them will have probably leg, arm, or 2 legs and an arm, and then some of them are one piece. These are torsos of Harry and his mate Ron.
Harry and Ron.
So
let's have a look.
These guys don't come with legs attached, which is why I'm holding them, because they're a bit awkward to put flat. But they are.
Yeah, they're older versions, aren't they?
You're looking at Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Which is probably where this game's set more.
Probably. I mean, you can't. I mean, you could kind of get behind the idea of these guys of this age range running around doing stuff against Death Eaters because they were.
Yeah.
If you take the kids from like the original film.
Be interested to see whether they actually do them as younger versions.
Possibly.
With the, lower stat cards and
stuff.
Maybe.
I mean, if they come out with maybe scenario packs or something like expansions like that, then they might end up doing stuff like the earlier days.
Yeah.
Where it's a little bit less fraught with deadly magic.
Right, let's. I think that's about everything.
That's
out
about-
the pack. So
Yeah, I mean, there's some little spinners, but
let me see if I can put some of these in. Some of these, so you can see everything. There's loads here. I'm never going to be able to get them on this close-up
no,
camera.
you do get quite a lot.
But
Wow.
no, there's another row down here, guys. My close-up cam is too close up.
Could you
So
imagine such a thing?
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 models in there, I believe.
And some spider
And some spider bases.
bases,
Let's just have a look at them on the camera.
almost like tokens,
Yeah.
but a little bit more. Is that in the middle?
Yep.
That's not a bad shot.
That's not bad.
So yeah, just a little spider on a base,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it's really nice, considering. I mean, working in that kind of scale for a creature like that, you can look at that and go,
Yeah.
that's a spider.
Yeah, yeah.
As opposed to that's a lump of resin. So they're all. Oh, that's like a big spider. There's also little bases of little spiders. They're almost cute. So they are literally just a little base. I think it's 3 little spiders on there.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Nice. So we're thinking they're in-game tokens or something.
So maybe, or they might be just be special scenario,
Yeah.
like when they're chasing spiders around in the woods and stuff. Or
Cool.
Around Hogwarts.
So guys, we're going to carry on and unbox some more of Jags.
Well, I did notice one thing. I've been flicking through the rule book,
Okay, just hold it forward a bit for us.
and
yeah.
I mean it's a very, very pretty rule book. It's softback and it's got assembly instructions in it, so that's really useful. But I think the bit which really kind of caught my eye was the fact that virtually, so that half is all kind of how to play in scenarios.
Oh right, and the other half's rules.
And that first half rules. So it's
So it's
almost half the book is about
Yeah.
some different scenarios, different ways of playing.
Yeah.
So that to me is a good thing.
Yeah, because it
That
gives
means
you more
you've
game.
got length and life
Yeah.
out of your game as opposed to playing it twice and
Yeah.
then going, oh yeah, I've done it now.
Yeah, it was something I always thought was a little bit messing with X-Wing. That was no campaign.
Yeah,
and,
I mean when they
scenario.
they brought out some like little scenarios in certain like the big shit.
Yeah.
And they were really fun.
Yeah, they were really fun.
And I think sometimes
The issue I think with them is once you play them, there's not a massive amount of replayability.
well, the ones which I remember is that you could take.
We're talking about X-Wing now, not Harry Potter.
They're talking about they had like take this force and this force, so you had these ships, or
Yeah.
take 180 points of this versus 100 points of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could muck around with it a little bit, but
Yeah.
the actual basic scenario itself, once you've done it once, you're kind of like, yeah, done
Yeah,
that. But yeah, I think if you put the effort in, though, you could work that out yourself
Yeah,
with
yeah,
X-Wing.
sure you could.
It's,
With
it's not
X-Wing.
it's not hard to
Yeah.
kind of muck up with and come up with a scenario and just run with it. So.
we were kind of thinking that there might be scenario books.
Oh,
or Harry
I
Potter,
reckon,
almost
I
definitely.
mean, they
won't
can't cover the entirety of the 7 possible films
Yeah,
to do stuff from in just one little book and one little set.
yeah,
I mean, the fact that they only give you some spiders, some Death Eaters, and the main 3 characters, that kind of limits you to a certain degree.
yeah,
So even just off the top of your head, you're kind of thinking, well, Order of the Phoenix,
yeah, definitely.
you know, with all the other characters involved in the scenery,
Yeah.
you can't do that off the main set, so you kind of need a little bit more.
Let's.
What, James? What, James?
Do you reckon they'll go into Fantastic Beasts?
I think.
I don't see why they
I
wouldn't.
think. Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't
You
they?
know,
It's all the wisdom world.
yeah, it's all the same IP, and you can get to muck around with some really interesting models with the magical beasts and stuff. So you can do some really cool looking stuff. Whether or not they'd expand on this rule set or come up with something different for it, I don't know. But
So you can see there,
Why
guys.
wouldn't
This goes back in the box
in the box.
really easily.
Which is rare.
Which is rare. Normally
it never works.
it
like
never
that.
never works like that. Yeah. I'm really interested.
You
in
want to
that,
see
guys.
Voldemort?
I want to
don't
see
you? You wanna
Voldemort. Yeah.
I can't blame you. If I'm going to be brutally honest, these weren't wrapped, so these came open.
Did they?
I did sneak a peek at Voldemort.
Ooh, I think we'll let you off.
Gee, thanks. So here we go.
It's a big base.
It is a big base. Again, he's got cards. He's got little.
And they've got values, so they are value
and
upgrade cards.
So you've got Apparition, Crucio, Imperio, and Nagini. So I think these are upgrade cards.
Yeah.
So if we can kind of spread these out a little bit. So there's Apparition, which is the same thing as what Dumbledore had on his stat card.
Yeah.
So Voldemort came with this. You can buy it for Voldemort. Crucio, because you can't be a good Death Eater without Crucio, really, can you?
Yeah, no.
Imperio. Always useful for getting people to do what you want. And then these two, just little extra ones.
Yeah.
So apparently, comment, the amount of models certainly justifies the price. Not just the amount, but the quality.
Yeah, the quality.
The quality of the models
is
as well
is
is quite spectacular.
I mean, yeah. There certainly isn't any Harry Potter miniatures on this scale that are as good as this.
Are there any?
Well, that's probably true.
Right, so Voldemort stat card.
So he's 20.
He's cost 20.
His value,
which
cost.
seems an awful amount.
We were looking at Dobby, who was 12, wasn't he?
Dobby was 10.
10.
Creature was
right.
9.
9.
Voldemort, Dumbledore was 12 or something like that.
Yeah, Dumbledore
Not
wasn't massive, was it?
This guy's 20.
Yeah. He is Voldemort.
I mean, it's Voldemort, I mean, the fact that, his built-in power is the killing
courage
curse.
is 0.
Courage 0.
Yeah, so...
Wisdom 6, but temper 25.
Yeah.
Now, Dumbledore had like temper 2.
So I assume that must be something.
There's got to be something really going on with that. I mean, that's such a massive jump in
read
stats
the
as
rules
well.
now,
I mean, the fact we saw like Creature had like 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Dumbledore had 2. This guy's got 25. I mean, that's a big jump. That's got to be something really quite important to the system.
Yeah.
He's got again lots of traits: Dark Arts, Dark Lord, Dueling, Master Wizard, Tactician, Magical Immunity, Slytherin. So they're still focusing on houses.
Yeah, so
because Dumbledore was a Gryffindor, so there's got to be game effects which are going to be dependent upon your house and stuff. So so a lot like keywords.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, even though these look very different and they'd have very different stats, there are similarities to the Batman miniatures game.
Yeah.
With the traits and keywords and that kind of thing. So I think they're possibly going to borrow some bits and pieces off of Batman. And then a Dark Presence. Again, because we haven't read the rules fully, we're not really sure what this card is.
So,
but it says place an objective marker in the open, so it's got to be something to do with gameplay.
You're kind of killing me here a bit because I really want to see the model.
I know, I'm dragging it out as long as possible just to really wind you up. Okay, so that.
So it's not built, guys. So I don't know whether you're going to get a full sense of the model here, but
it's pretty mental though.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So we'll try and give you an idea about what's going on with this model. So if
that's his body,
that's the body, just the body.
Okay.
And
so we'll see in a minute. He comes on a huge base.
Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking about the 32mm true scale, and that's his base size.
Yeah, yeah.
So this guy's a big unit. But again, if you're paying 20 galleons for him, I think you think he needs to be.
And then he's got some magic.
He's got some,
wibbly wobbly magic.
Wibbly wobbly magic. That's his arm. That's his arm.
I'm glad you've got to put this together, Jabs.
Yeah. Well, luckily, company assembly instructions. Otherwise, I'd be in deep trouble.
Let's just put this under there so you can get.
So yeah, if you kind of
Clear
piece
idea.
all
So
of these resin
We've
bits
shown
together,
you this bit here,
yeah.
this body,
So that body bit there, and
we've
that
shown,
arm bit there,
yeah, this wibbly wobbly bit here,
and then there's the scenic base bit with Nagini crawling around it.
Have we got Nagini?
Well, yeah, Nagini is
again
in separate part. There's Nagini. He's got a lower jaw missing, which is there.
Oh, you've got. You're joking. You've got to stick the snake's jaw.
So yeah, this is going to be an interesting.
Oh wow.
Oh, and hello. As we were saying earlier about expansion scenarios. So this is.
So it's actually come with a.
It's come with
a
scenario which has
a board on the back of it.
its own map.
So that's actually come with the model.
And that comes with the model. So there's a extra scenario with this model.
So yeah. So in these tins you're getting a build sheet, a scenario sheet.
And all the cards necessary,
upgrade cards,
necessary
and
to
the
play,
model,
and the model himself.
And the tins are really nice as well.
Well, to be honest, when that comes out, I don't think I'm going to store it in this tin when it's fully done.
Yeah, I would.
This tin's going to be very useful.
Yeah, I'd find some foam to actually fit him in there. I think
You could probably custom cut.
Yeah, custom cut some foam and keep him in there.
That'd be quite interesting. Right, and then the
People
Dementor.
shit themselves when they see you bring your Voldemort out.
Well, yeah, because you would. Right, shall we look at the Dementor?
Let's have a look at the Dementor.
Dementor. Oh god, that stuff. There we go.
It's going to be quite a long video, guys. We just Jags is quite excited to open all this stuff.
Again, it's got a scenario in it. Dementor attack. It's got its own map.
Yeah.
And again, it's on a really big base.
Let's just push this forward slightly.
So if we could show you the instructions first, so you can actually kind of get an idea for it. It is him floating along, looking mean.
Yeah.
And if we look on the insides of it, there's your map. And
so it shows you the map to set up for the scenario.
Scenario text. I'm loving the fact that they're giving us extra stuff.
Yeah.
Extra stuff to play.
Quite interested in the Dementor's stat card and his points value.
Well, he seems to have more than one. Oh dear. Okay, fair enough. Right, this is going to be a bit strange. There's 2 stat cards for him.
So one's 9 points and one's 2.
Well, one is 9 galleons and the other is 2 sickles.
Oh. Okay. So we don't know.
So I have no idea. Well, sickles are worth less than galleons, for sure.
I think it's slightly more than a shekel.
Probably.
And maybe even a tad more than a groat.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I'm down with that. In the current exchange rate, who knows though. So, Dementor's Kiss, they seem to have very similar abilities, and the stats are virtually identical, and yet they have a very, very different cost. So, again, without knowing the rules, because we haven't gone that far, who knows, but it looks interesting. The fact that there's 2 stat cards going on there, it looks interesting, which is very cool.
Let's put the model in.
Yep, let's have a look at the gander at the model.
And again,
it's got upgrade cards.
Not many upgrades with the Dementor, because they didn't really do a lot except suck souls. Oh, he's lovely.
Wow. Not so many pieces as Voldemort,
but
still probably going to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
So just move those up, sorry. There we go. So that's your base.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that part will join into these bits here. So it'll look a bit like that.
And then he's on that wisp, he sits
and
on top of it.
And then that will fit in like that somewhere for the completed Dementor.
Cool.
How crazy is that? That's mental.
Very cool.
And that one actually looks like it'll go together quite nicely. A little bit of clean up, but that's about it. Which is good. Because whilst we like complicated models with detail, we also like them to go together in a sensible way, which you're not going to get your fingers stuck together with.
So what we might do now, guys, you've seen the basis of it and that. We'll quickly go through what else Jags has got in the
Well, this
sprues.
is really easy because these are literally just
and
a pile of booster packs.
so these are your booster packs here. So it's just a blister pack. I'm assuming the model and the cards in each one.
Yeah, I'm guessing, and some of them are titled in so much that we have Hogwarts Professors, Dumbledore's Army Pack, but then you have Unicorn Adventure Pack
Yeah.
and Troll Adventure Pack.
Yeah, so
I
this is
think
what
in the
this is.
same
This is
vein
a-
as
a troll.
Dementor and Lord Voldemort, you're
Yeah.
going to get a scenario and a
Yeah.
map for dealing with that particular creature.
And the model in it.
And
yeah.
the model
so,
as well.
So what we're saying is that this comes with a scenario, this is an adventure pack.
Yeah.
And some, like Dumbledore's Army,
Would just
will
be
be
additional models.
additional models with their stat cards.
Yep, with
obviously.
their stat cards and everything you need to play with them, but they're just another way of putting models on the
Yeah.
table. As opposed to the two adventure packs, which is the Troll and the Unicorn,
The unicorn one.
which is what I mentioned earlier with the rearing up. And they will have an adventure to go with them, and all that you need to play that particular scenario.
So we got the troll and the unicorn there. We've got
That's the
Slytherin.
bad boys. So
Slytherin
that's Malfoy and his two goons.
Should we open one of these packs? And
Which one do you want to open?
It's up to you, Jags. It's all your stuff. There's Dumbledore's
don't make me
Army.
choose. Go on, James. What do you want to see?
You've already shown one. I was
Speak
the
up quick on the
Dementor.
stream if you want to see anything.
If you want to
particular.
see anything specific, we've got like Weasley twins.
We've got Jags has got everything here.
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot of stuff there.
currently
So if you want to see
available.
something like Rubius, Remus in his werewolf form, which is quite cool,
We've got the Hogwarts professors.
and including the most hated character in all of Harry Potter.
Yeah, yeah. What's the name?
What is her name? Oh, I can't remember her name. That's embarrassing. Should we have a look at a stat card? That'll tell us her name.
Yeah, open the professors.
Umbridge.
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 Umbridge. Let's have a look at the professors.
Let's have a look at the pros.
Or the Weasley twins. Look better on the packet than they do.
That's a bit harsh. Is that because they're ginger?
No, I'm nothing against gingers, Jags.
Oh, really?
Jags is ginger, in case everybody's wondering. They just didn't age particularly well. I felt personally.
Timothy Spall was amazing.
Malfoy family.
Oh, One Piece sculpts.
Does that
We
mean
got Hagrid and his mutt.
Does that mean Malfoy's the only double printed character so far?
No.
The Order of the Phoenix.
I don't think.
So pretty much
Actually, no.
everything.
Yeah, he might be actually.
Interesting.
Rufus Lupin.
Why?
Yeah.
Because he comes with the Malfoy family,
And with his goon.
and he comes with his goons. So there's school Malfoy and outside of school Malfoy.
So he's at a bit of an age.
So almost like
gap,
Death Eater Malfoy
Yeah.
in a weird way.
So here is the greatest character ever
Oh.
devised.
My
Dolores
dad,
Umbridge.
my dad, who is an ex-teacher,
Yeah.
cannot watch the Umbridge scenes
Really?
because he hates it that much.
She played that part well, didn't
Oh, she did it
Oh,
wonderfully.
yeah.
You can't argue with that.
No,
You always got to admire actors that play parts
Absolutely.
that are hated.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's easy to play the popular part.
Oh
isn't it?
yeah, but I mean, and she did it beautifully to the point where my dad, he physically can't stay in the room when her scenes are on. He can't stand
So
it.
yeah, I'm not sure what colour you'd paint her.
Pink,
Yeah.
all the pink. Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh yeah.
So how many professors of the let me get this right now. Professors of the defensive arts, what was it?
Defense Against the Dark Arts.
That's one. How many of those have you got so far?
Um,
Because they were always the sort of turning point character
well,
in each of the books.
you
weren't
have who did it?
they? Snape,
Snape. Yeah, kind of. But
substitute
yes,
teacher.
Snape is there. Lupin. We've got Lupin.
Yep.
And his werewolf form. Lockhart did it for a term.
The lady we all love that we just spoke about.
Umbridge.
The guy with the crazy eye.
Mad Eye. Yeah, he's
Oh, Mad Eye.
Phoenix,
he's
isn't
ordered
he?
the Phoenix
Yep.
box, so he's there. Although technically, though, it wasn't Mad Eye.
No, it wasn't. It was David Tennant's character.
It
wasn't
was.
I forget his name.
So do I.
We're really good at this.
Yeah, we love Harry Potter. I'm going to blame it on being flustered over seeing all this beautiful
Absolutely,
stuff.
there's a lot to take in from what's on the table.
A Snape's 16 points there. He's the most expensive professor.
Well, he is Alan Rickman.
Well, that is true. I would pay 16 galleons
Absolutely.
for Alan Rickman.
Just for
Absolutely.
Alan Rickman alone. Umbridge, funnily enough, gets Crucio as a special ability.
Yeah.
Oh, evil witch.
She's got a temper on her.
I mean that in the literal sense.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to you learning these.
McGonagall.
Thank you. Once again,
Once again, Jack's learning.
once again, it's me reading rulebooks.
You like reading rule
I
books.
love reading rulebooks.
Jags is the official store rule reader.
I get paid for that.
No.
It's a privilege.
It's a
and an
privilege,
honour.
yeah. Well, that's been excellent, Jags. Is there anything else you want to put under the camera or anything?
Or we could spend all day
Yeah, I know.
putting stuff
know.
under the camera. I think from what we've shown, I mean, obviously it's hard to tell when they're untreated resin, but it's being shown in front of you on a camera.
Yeah. Once they're painted, we will
Once they're
post some
painted,
pictures
yeah,
up
we'll
and
put
stuff,
some pictures
maybe.
up and stuff. And also, when I've got the game on the table,
Yeah.
we can do maybe a stream of that as well.
Yeah.
Show people how it plays and stuff,
There's
but
definitely enough here already without them doing any more expansions to
keep you going for
a while.
I mean, especially seeing as
I'm quite surprised, really,
even though it is like
because there's
it's not like a traditional skirmish game.
yeah,
The fact that they've got a points value already
yeah.
with a whole slew of models
Yeah.
means that the variation's there.
I think there's going to be you're going to be able to build some interesting crews from this. You got the generic Death Eaters as well.
Well, yeah, this is it.
which
You've
you
got
can
the
just add to
the Malfoys, add to
Is what's her face
Dementor-
there?
What's her face?
you know
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Bellatrix.
Yeah, she's with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could do all the named Death Eaters. You could do the Order of the Phoenix. You could do Dumbledore's Army.
It's going to be interesting using a grid system as well. It's the
Yeah.
first time we've seen Knights models do that.
I mean, I'm going to be interested to see if they ever do come out with an expansion or a rules subset which allows you to transfer into inches.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they will or not, but
I suspect
it would be a
there-
cool thing to be able to do.
There will be like a terrain scenery part to the
Well, that's
game
it.
as
That's
well.
it. The idea of being able to make the different like
Yeah.
walls and stuff like that.
And
would
also
be
to be
thing
able
is,
to run around
even-
and
even
save
if
the
you-
Forbidden Forest.
yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
you couldn't, you could make terrain
4 tiles.
4 tiles anyhow, and just put it at the sides, and
Yeah,
then
just
have like
grid it.
an open.
Yeah.
Opens.
So, I mean, it's a way that they could go.
yeah,
I mean, they might not, and they might not feel that they need to, which will be legit. I mean, if this is the way that they want it to be played, then
Yeah.
that's cool. But
The other thing is as well, licensing. They're going to be held down by that as well. They're going to be restricted to
yeah,
what they
True.
can do with
there's
it.
so much they can do.
but I don't know if licensing would affect their choices as whether or not they can use inches or squares.
I suppose, yeah.
Because it's still the same models, just instead of saying you've got move 4, range
Yeah.
2, you've got move 4 inches, range 2 inches.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily a difficult transition to make in those kind of terms. As long as your distances are relative and
Yeah.
they make sense within both scales, you could probably knock it out yourself, really, if you wanted to. You can kind of go, well,
Well, you learn these rules first.
yeah, I'll learn these rules first, and then we'll
Okay,
custom
guys.
build it.
So we're going to keep talking about this for
The rest of the day.
the rest of the day, probably the rest of the week, maybe even the month. We will probably bring some actual game streaming of this at some point in the not too distant future. Maybe even show you how it's played. But for now, we're going to cut the stream, and we'll catch you later on. Cheers, guys.
Have a good one. So much pretties. Too many pretties.